Ladies and gentlemen, before we actually get started, I want to comment on something because someone mentioned in the YouTube comments that I am incredibly wrong. And they were right. There actually are more pieces of equipment than I thought in Chapter 1, which makes sense. I wasn't actually using a walkthrough back then, so of course I would miss stuff. So I decided to go ahead and remove the itemization negative that I gave to Chapter 1. Speaking of needing a walkthrough, I apparently completely missed an entire quest here. So let's see if we can find this stupid quest so we could say good morning to Mook. But I can't say good morning until I find this quest. I'm also supposed to, I think I was also supposed to have not destroyed my car. Like, it's kind of vague. Jeez. Is there, like, another car, maybe? Because I'd kind of like to, you know, not have to run everywhere. Like, I might just skip the... Ah, it's the robot. Damn it. Happy Wednesday, TSB. Yes, okay. So, like, that way, I guess? God, it's way over there. Alright, let's see if we can go and find this stupid quest. Like, this... Also, I'm not actually early. I'm still late. Still had to do dishes this morning. Jesus Christ. Can we not die quickly? Please, please, please. Please. And Kubatora's dead. Whatever. Let's just keep going. I can't run. I can't run while someone's dead. Okay, you know what? You know what? Let's just rewind. God, that is a freaking huge AoE attack. It's 50 damage to 3 people. That is crazy. Am I that under-leveled? I don't feel like I'm under-leveled. I mean, that's not true. Actually, I do feel like I'm under-leveled. And that was 40 damage to all 4 of us. Good morning, Noctis. Can I just say, really quick, can I just say this? Last night I was talking to Pax about this game, and let me tell you, that made me feel a lot better about myself, because I have really not been enjoying the gameplay of this game. And he apparently had the exact same experience when he was going through it, because everyone was telling him that it was the best game in the known history of the ever. And then he played it and he was like, well, the story's good. And it is, in the interest of honesty. No, I was looking for that earlier, Noctis, because, yeah, I feel so underleveled. By the way, hi, Rex. Yeah, this is rough, is what I would call this, Rex. Now, in the interest of fairness, every Mother game kind of has this problem. They all have these sections or moments or balancing issues or whatever. Every single one of them. Even Earthbound, which is arguably the best of the trio. So, this is nothing new. But, like, damn. Okay, so, there's the Mouse Quest. We have Mouse Quest. Okay, so let's go back to Ye Olde A, walk through A. Jesus, I'm way up here. Okay. Man, I'm sure glad that I have the ride that I couldn't accidentally destroy via something I didn't even know was going to be a thing. Hello, Mr. Ed. Yeah, I got pushed on the character bit, which I'm okay with. I should be pushed. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I cannot defend my position, I don't actually have it. But unfortunately, I stand by it. What's really sad to me personally is I've also been doing some quiet auditing in the background. Incredibly copious amount of spare time instead of doing silly things like sleeping. And one of the things I've been doing is auditing up Earthbound. And it's been reminding me how much the characters in Earthbound are really good. As I told PAX just last night, one thing this game has been doing is reminding me of just how good Earthbound is of a game. Anyways, sorry. I don't mean to come across as so negative. I really don't. You want me to come across as negative? I don't know how to do that on purpose. I guess I'd have to come up with something. Got it. I'll talk about Expedition 33. Deponia? Is Deponia? It's accident. It was scary. The world's become so scary. What? Mom's calling for me? She's even scarier than the world is. I better get home right away. Talk about Rise of Skywalker. That is one of my favorite topics. Here's how you use the car that you blew up earlier. Yes, WoW Patch Within is funded, and FF14 Patch Trail are both funded. So, woo! And speaking of woo, thank you very much for the sub, Nightwing. I will jot that down, if you'll give me a second. For Fallout Vegas. Deponia. What's Deponia? And we'll put that towards EU4. Specifically. Start pushing that a bit. Yeah, no, the fact that they bothered to have a limping sprite for him, for Pig him, is actually nice. No, Noctis. You can, if you're running, run over them and kill them instantly, but it does not have the run away from you mechanic that Earthbound had. 1 second, please. It is a point-and-click game. Aha! That's pretty much all I needed to know. It might have fallen into dead fruit, Nightwing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Be at peace. If you really care, I will go ahead and start that loading. And when that loads, I'll see if it's actually in the dead fruit. Back to that. Come on, load, so I can check. Load! Load! Okay, while this is loading. Let's see, where's the second mouse? Oh, that was the second mouse. Where's the first mouse? First mouse is over there. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So let's go to this. Deponia. Yep, there it is. So, for those of you not aware of how the Dead Fruit system works, anytime a game hasn't had donations, any interest whatsoever put towards it for a substantial period of time, I just kind of put it into the Dead Fruit list. It's still there. It's still functional. It's just sitting there frozen, right? So for a bit of perspective, the reason Deponia went in there is because it didn't have any donations put towards it for 436 days. Which is, a long freaking time. So, like, I don't do it if you don't donate towards the game every week. I'm pretty lenient about that. In fact, I think we don't even have anything viable for Dead Fruit right now. Let me just do a quick sort. What is that? 10, looks like. Halos are... Halo? Here we go. Good morning, Walker. Well, several Sonic blocks have fallen off into the Frozen list, but that's okay, because we want to do the classic block first anyways, right? Everyone knows the other blocks there. Okay, so here we go. So, for example, right now we have games like Puraspera, Cocoon, Suikoden Tear Quest, Water Song. All of those games are kind of in threat of being frozen because none of those have been donated towards for 5 months, which is, again, not an insubstantial period of time. If no one puts interest to a game for half a year, generally I consider that to be a Dead Fruit game. Okay, right. I am going this way. Without my car, I'm still mad about this. I'm still mad that I just permanently lost the car because of something I couldn't possibly have known was going to happen. Whatever I just said, Trax, I've already closed the document. Can I take your stupid car, please? Nope. Well, yeah, everyone's gonna get this. I hope you enjoy some Mother 3 for Thanksgiving, because that's pretty much gonna be my Thanksgiving. It's playing Mother 3 for like 3 viewers. That's not a complaint. I'm not mad. Mother 3 feels like a perfect Thanksgiving game. How would I rank the top 3 Mother games? Well, I obviously haven't finished Mother 3, but Earthbound, Mother 3, and then Mother 1. Probably Moog. Like, we'll probably do some kind of dinner thing tomorrow. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Which means we're already pretty well into Thanksgiving weekend now. Most people are already off. Or have taken PTO. There's the mouse. Thank you for taking the time to read. Ooh, reading stuff is hard. But Mom's calling for me? Okay, bye. Kind of, Czar. Like, if you want to get today off, yeah, you've got to take PTO for that. Oh yeah, and some places just don't give you Thanksgiving off, period. Kind of depends. The data center I used to work at obviously didn't do holidays. But you would get time and a half for working on holidays. So I got time and a half every year. Yeah, pretty much any retail or service place is going to be open. They're supposed to pay you extra for working those days. And Kumatora is dead. Cool. Can't run again. Look, I don't want to get too much into it, but we live in a capitalist society, Czar, which does not mean incentive-based economics, as some people mistakenly think. It means that the primary economic motivator, it actually means a lot of things. It means workers don't really have rights. Let's just summarize that excessively. Capitalist policies mean benefiting the people who own the properties, own the rights, and own the resources. And that's the rich people. So workers do not have rights. It's why so many companies spend literal millions of dollars on a regular basis trying to push down unions. Not like unions are a perfect patch-all for everything, but they're one of the only ways that some workers can have any form of control over their lives. I don't have anything, do I? Good morning, Game Geek. Good morning, Bright Bar. Yeah, nope, I'm just gonna have to walk this. Let's do it over here. Thanks for that. Yeah, I guess I swear to God. I apparently cannot get the combo in that song to save my life. I was trying each time there. Hi, Lanareth. Of course, I can do that song. Yes, it is, Walker. Why do you ask? Jesus Christ. Now, I'm actually really happy with the setup here because I have 2 windows, which means I have a tremendous control over the temperature of this room. If I ever need to lower the temperature in here substantially, all I have to do is have one air coming in and one air going out. And I will just torpedo the temperature in here, which is great. If I need to be warm, I just seal up both windows. If I need it to be like a little bit cool, but not too hot, but not too cold, I'll just have 1 out, or 2 out, or 2 in. This is probably the most control over my environment I've had since I started streaming. So, that's nice. We should probably save. God, I've been doing this for 17 minutes. I've been doing one quest for 17 minutes. This better be worth it. I'd like to argue for a negative, by the way. So this area is very large in terms of traversal, because you're supposed to go through this entire section with your car. However, you can lose your car in two separate ways. One is you can do what we accidentally did, which is overcharge it. Fresh reminder, nothing anywhere indicates that overcharging is a thing. I was just charging up the car, and then it blew up. So from my perspective, I did nothing wrong, and lost my car. It gets worse. The second thing is nothing tells you, well, I shouldn't say it that way, nothing told me that you have to charge it at all, other than just wandering into the charge thing out of curiosity. Significance? If you don't charge it, it runs out of gas, or juice, or whatever, which means you lose the car. So you have two separate methods of permanently losing the car in a fairly large area designed to be navigated with the car. And this place is huge. And yeah, the car's electric, obviously. The fascist pig army is nothing if not environmentally conscious. As they're burning down forests and stuff. The biggest negative to this room is sound. Thin walls and thin door means other people can hear me relatively easily, and I can hear them relatively easily. And of course, there's the fact that cars like to vroom by here regularly. But mostly it's the former thing. And before you ask, I actually already have put up some soundproofing on the door and under the door. And it's pretty much as good as it's getting. Without literally, doing some construction type stuff. Hell yeah, Danielle. Also, you love all this experience we're getting that Kumatora is not getting because she's dead. And we don't have the ability to res someone. Because the ability to res someone is on the other side. It's up there at the P. If you see where the P is on the map, that's the res spot. We were down at the factory, which is the far southeast. I hate to keep complaining, but God, this section sucks. This is just, wow. Okay, so we all just took mortal damage, but it's okay. I don't know Blades at all. I mean, there's probably some artifact design there. FF3 says hello. Dragon Quest had an entire thing dedicated just towards rezzing. If we're being completely honest, probably one of the main reasons is Dungeons and Dragons. That is to say, the original Dungeons and Dragons, in which rezzing was... The simplest way I can explain that is that it was usually better to just re-roll a new character, rather than even attempt to resurrect someone. If you died, you're probably staying dead. That's been lessened over the years. Like, by the time you get to, say, like, 3rd edition, it started getting more and more common to have access to the resources necessary to res someone. And there was multiple res spells, and then you get to 5th edition, which lowers those costs even further. And yeah, Downed exists now. But point is, most of these games were based off of the original Dungeons & Dragons. Because we've got Dragon Quest I, which was directly inspired by D&D, as well as Final Fantasy I, which was directly inspired by D&D. And so in both cases, they kind of leaned that way. You mean the mystical shoes, Danielle? Yes, I bothered. It was worth it. Okay, Now, something I've commented on before, and I'm going to get some flack for this, and I really don't care at this point in my life, is that the Final Fantasy series and the Dragon Quest series tend to just be better than most JRPGs on the gameplay axis, specifically because, well, I don't actually know why. I could say it's because they've been around, for so long, but there's JRPGs that predate them. I could say it's because they iterate so often, but it's not like they're the only ones to do that. So I have no idea why they just kind of tend to be better on the gameplay axis, but they do. So as a consequence, the res problem I just mentioned, while it's not exactly solved by FFs and Dragon Quest, it is certainly improved. And in fact, a lot of those games have been going out of their way over the years to try and do more and more and better and better. Again, I mentioned FF3 earlier. Sorry, Rex. Didn't mean to sound insulting there. FF3, for those of you not aware, FF3 was absolutely terrible about resing. In fact, 1, 2, and 3 didn't have things like Phoenix Downs, and the ability to res in combat was either non-existent or practically non-existent. If you wanted to res someone, you go back to town. You talk to the guy whose job it is to res people. This could make certain parts of the game really terrible, and they recognized this, and so when FF4 rolled around, they came up with the concept of life items and life spells, which you could get throughout the course of the world. And again, that's been improving bit by bit over the years, as we now have multiple types of life spells, and you got it. The scent, it's the smell of a doggy biscuit. And as you can see, I happen to be a stray dog. So there's only one logical thing for you to do now. Please give me the doggy biscuit. Done. I'm exceptionally happy. I want to thank you guys somehow. Oh, I know. I have a bottle rocket. I mean a pencil rocket, excuse me. Which we're going to give to Boney. There we go. Hey, Rex. This section sucks. This section sucks so much. I'm already tired of it. And I've been here for about 30 minutes now. Next time I'm reborn, I hope to be a sperm whale. I want to eat giant squids and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's also true, Rex. You're welcome, Walker. That actually... I literally just asked yesterday if anybody actually reads my review document stuff, so it's nice to know that some people do. Thank you. Yep, no, I was just double checking myself to make sure I couldn't use the car, and yep, I cannot. Cool. Oh yeah, Phantasy Star. Like I said, most of the further back you go, the more irritating resing tends to be. You're probably wondering why resing was so terrible in first edition. It's because the first edition of D&D was based off of a game called Chainmail, which itself was a development of a war game thing. And let me figure out where I'm going. Then I'll talk about some boring gaming history nobody cares about. Okay. This is the director of film. So, tabletop gaming is extremely old. No, let me walk that sentence back. Board games are extremely old. Tabletop gaming, as we're thinking of it nowadays, is actually relatively recent. It only goes back a couple centuries. I myself have actually done my own due diligence on trying to research when wargaming, which is the first real tabletop gaming, really got going. And I can only go back a few centuries to Prussia, specifically, which would do, board games, war games, in order to try and teach up the military. I gotta eat a cookie, munch on it. My cheeks get all big and chubby. Aw. So, cool, right? Whatever. There's some reports of people like, say, the Persians did some stuff, and obviously board games go back for millennia. But, like, what we consider tabletop gaming really started, as far as I can tell, with Prussia and those war games. And that was just what tabletop gaming was. It was all war games. They were popular, they were cool, they were fun, they were normal until about the 70s. Yes, that recently. And about in the 70s, there was an attempt by Gygax and several other people to put together their own particular version of a wargaming rule set, which they called Chainmail eventually. I'm skipping over a few steps here, forgive me. But the point is, when you played that, and this is so obvious if you've ever played D&D First Edition, when you played, you weren't supposed to play one character, you were supposed to play a squad. So, as per most war games, there was no resurrection, because once a unit dies, they're dead, right? The point was that units were functionally your HP. It's also why so many of the player classes, if you've ever read a original D&D rulebook, have terrible HP, terrible AC, and the ability to die very easily. It's why it gained that reputation so quickly, is because you weren't really supposed to live. You were supposed to have a squad. Now, during development, they started to realize how fun it was to just play a person, role play, if you will, a person, rather than playing a squad or a unit or something in a battlefield. So they came up with the idea of, well, why don't we just go ahead and make it that? But the thing is, they didn't change the rules all that much. So if you've ever played D&D, that is to say, the original, any of the forms, there's like 3, you probably remember how incredibly easy it is to die, because you were supposed to die and then be replaced by the next unit down the line, right? It wasn't until AD&D, which we usually refer to as 2nd edition, when they started thinking, hold up. Maybe we should make it so the players can do something other than die. And everyone was like, hold up. You lost me. Okay. Imagine if you're playing a role-playing game, but you don't die because you decided to fight a goblin and rolled 3 2s in a row. Yeah, no, a lot of the base mechanics, like a lot of the way spells worked, a lot of the ways that some of the rules worked, like the actual core mechanics of the game worked, were just kill you. They would actually just kill you. There was no downed status. There was no at 0 health status. There was just, this happens, and then you die. And they started walking back from that, You get the idea. The relevance to video gaming is, of course, an extraordinary quantity of RPGs were directly inspired by D&D. Problem is, most of them were inspired by D&D, as in 1st edition. Ultima came from that. Might and Magic came from that. Yes. I had to think about it, because one of them was much later. And then we had, obviously, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Ys, Phantasy Star. A lot of them were very inspired by the original D&D and Chainmail. And so they kind of copied the same general mechanics. And because those games were popular, people copied them. It's like this weird photocopier of bad game design that just kind of persisted for decades. What I'm trying to say is D&D First Edition was the Hanna-Barbera of video games. Okay, this way. Okay, I can run again. Yeah, some people had something called the screw off pile. That's not what they call it, but I'm not going to cuss on camera for something like that. And that's where you'd put dice that roll particularly badly when you really want them to roll well. Getting a little tired of this song. Holy crap. Yeah, dice jail. Yeah, and then... Alright, here we go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to roll the dice right now. Listen, all I'm saying, Rax, is gosh golly willikers, watch your language. So, I've actually got a Christmas / birthday present. It's a combined, it's a year present, right? And it's polished quartz gemstones as D&D dice. I will not be doing a good job of conveying this to you, because it's sort of hard to do. We haven't even reached it yet. Mechanics go. Hang on, give me a sec. I actually gotta get my tweezers to pull these things out of here. There we go. Don't know if I can be able to represent these properly on screen, but... So you can kind of tell what I mean when I say that these are gemstone dice. And looks like it's not going to show up that well, but you can kind of see it. Do you see the refraction there? These are extraordinarily pretty. A little pricey. Oh, oh. But extremely pretty. And I haven't actually gotten a chance to use them yet. So let's do it. Let's decide how 2026 is going to go with the roll of a dice. You ready for this? Here we go. This is it. This is 2026. I rolled a 4. Of course I rolled a 4. That's it. It's it. It's done. Pack it up. Pack it up. Yep, that's it. That's Half-Life 4. That's what that is. I don't know, Loke. But how much were they? So this was, hang on. I'm pretty sure it's UR Wizards. Yes, UR Wizards is the name of the site. I don't know where they're at on the site. But, you know, I got a little card that came with it. They have some cool dice. It is not cheap. But they have some very cool dice, if anybody wants some custom stuff like that. Wait, hang on. Good point, good point. How'd 2025 go? One more roll. One more roll. Ready? Here we go. This is going to be it. This is the roll. The 2. It's a 2. That about tracks. Yeah, this year has been about a 2. Moving on. That's true. That's true. Next year will be better. Okay. So about the dice jail concept we were just talking about, let's... hang on, one more. Let's do 2027. This is it. This is going to be the big one. That is a 15. Hey, there you go. All right, anyway, so where the hell was I? So we just got to tough it out for 2 more years, and it'll be fine. See, 2027 is when I actually take over the world. That's what that means. Okay, so where am I freaking going? Thanks, Samicom. It's a little crude, but it's functional. Of course. Do you see that? I got a full 15 combo, and it still decides to just hit my entire party for 40. Because this game hates me. Whatever. There, that's everyone. Let's go. Listen, it's very easy. It's what you do. Okay? This is the technique. You get your dice, and then you just let... Whenever you're not rolling them... If I could find the 20. Where's the 20? Hang on a second. Whenever you're not rolling them... Where's the 20? There it is. You just leave it so that the 20 is up, and it will slowly weight itself, and it will shift down imperceptibly so that it will weight itself towards the 20. Does it seriously want me to go all the way back there? Oh my god, it does. Alright, whatever. Yeah, like I said, that was a combined yearly gift. They're really nice dice. Like, I'm super happy with them. Hopefully I'll get a chance to actually use them at some point. Yeah, thankfully, I am not superstitious enough to believe that. I just happen to know that my dice luck is terrible, and always has been. That is such a consistent thing in my life. You should see me play Baldur's Gate 3. Alright, I've got a 92% chance to hit this guy. And then Immortal Slime gives me 25 subs. Like, that's my dice luck right there. That's just how that works out. I'm really not joking. That is constantly the thing that happens to me in video games as well as in physical dice. Ah, thank you very, very much, Immortal Slime. I hope you enjoy the VODs. I hope you enjoy the YouTube-y stuff. And I appreciate your support. Thank you very, very much. And if you give me a second, I will write that down. For 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, BBZ Kakarot, there we go, and Jedi Fallen Order. Speaking of major expenses, I decided to pull the trigger on that new TV. So if I need to AFK in a minute, it's because I don't feel like leaving my TV sitting outside. Because it's going to be here in like 20 minutes or something like that. So just as a heads up. It's raining. We're in a good neighborhood, but it's raining. Aww. Hey, our empathy went up again. We actually have reviewed Jedi Fallen Order before the Oblivion line. Oh yeah, by the way, nobody do the $5,000 thing. Nobody do that. For the love of God. It is such a scam. Please do not do that. I know it's like, oh my God, it's super on sale. Don't. Don't. Yeah, Twitch takes a gigantic bite. If you somehow magically have $5,000 and you want to drop on me, that's cool. That's awesome. PayPal. I will get 98% of it through PayPal if you're going to do a direct donation. Please don't give me that much money. Y'all need it more than I do. I have a roof. I have food. You know, I can function. But if you're going to do that, do it direct. Do not do it through Twitch. The OLED has nothing to do with anything, actually, Linerith. So I mentioned this earlier. This more roof and more food. Probably never happening. Hang on one second. We did that. We did that. I think we're actually done. Yes. I think we're about to fight a boss. Oh my God. Have to be finally done with this stupid place. I think you're right. That sounds exactly like it. If someone wants to donate $23 million, then that's going to take some time to process and fully verify that that's not a troll. Lawyers might get involved. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, so there's a bunch of other things. The OLED, as I've said before, the OLED status actually means nothing to me. I don't care about OLED or non-OLED. I care about everything else. And there is a TV that I've actually had my eye on, which just went on sale for like $200 off, which is the one that's showing up today. But the main thing, it's not like you're like, oh God, you're so... I really was trying to talk myself out of it. It's like, I can just live with it. But, well, here. Hang on, let me kill this thing. Give me a second. I'll show you. So there's this plate. I don't remember what it's called. Don't ask me. And this actually took a while to track down what the hell was going on with this. But there's a plate, physical plate, inside the monitor, which, thanks to a defect, melts. Just from normal heat, by the way, just from normal usage. Nothing, like, extensive. It's not like I'm abusing the thing. It's not like I'm not doing my due diligence on taking care of it. I actually have very, very little actual burn-in on this monitor because I take such good care of it. But there's this nice, big, obvious melted spot. And if you give me a second, I'll show it to you. I know you're impatient. I know you're so impatient. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Peace, peace. And it's such a known issue that if you contact LG while you're still in the warranty, they just send you a new plate. They just say, here, enjoy. There we go. So this is actually a physical screenshot of my monitor. It's most obvious when it's blue, green, or yellow. So that's physically, if I pull up a green image across my entire monitor, that's what it looks like. And you can see the melted spot, right? You can actually see the part where the plate has started melting into itself. So that's what I've been dealing with for a bit now, actually. The good news is that it's been slowly getting worse. Well, only for certain colors. That's the weird part, Linareth. But, like, what really struck me, this is actually about a month and a half ago, was I was looking at the Streaminations page where I've got the spreadsheet showing all the colors. And I commented that one of the episodes had gotten an orange. And the person I was talking to at the time, live, you know, in chat, in Discord, was like, hey, what are you talking about? That's a yellow episode, not an orange episode. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's so clearly orange. Way. So anyways. So yeah, that's literally 2 days ago. I was staring at that because I was having an issue with it again. Because like if I've got the review document up, which I do right now, right here, I can see the discoloration on the greens for the gameplay positives. And I was just staring at that like, because I could live with it, right? It is possible to live with it. It's not the end of the world. But it is a business expense. Actually, no, Chill Pangolin. It will give those subs to anybody who has ever been in that room. It's kind of weird how it does it. So, like, let's say if I've got one viewer live, right, and you donate, 50 gift subs, it will check for the last 50 people who've ever been in my chat who are not subbed to me, and will just randomly give them subs. That too, Rex. That was another big thing for me. Okay, we finally found the stupid thing. Let's get this stupid egg. I'm tired of this song. Oh, speaking of which, I've changed my mind. I'm giving this section 2 gameplay negatives. Because this section sucks. I'll type up more thoughts later. Because, honestly, I'm really tired of this song. So let's just kind of... Oh my god, look at this. Look at this trash heap. Look at this. So, boss time. It's right there, dude. What is that? That's our boss. The Forlorn Junk Heap. So you're probably wondering, Laura, why did you bother doing that stupid quest with the mouse? So this boss has a concept called a shield, which is exactly what it sounds like. The side quest gives us an item to remove a shield. Oh my god, he hit me for 100. I mean, if you hit him, you'll hit the shield. This is our first enemy with a shield in the game, so you might not know what that means yet. Yeah, let's lower his damage, shall we? I did not miss your question. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, Linarth. It's a okay, and Boney is dead. And there's the heal for Boney that just went through. Yeah, I got a happy box. Don't you have your happy box, Random? Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to stop getting struck by lightning? You can heal for 300? No, Linarth. I did not get an OLED this time around. I forget what it's LED, but it's like a specific type of LED. Okay. So here's the deal. He just put his shield back up. My shield remover is on Boney. Boney's dead. Let's try healing. Oh, it won't even let me. It won't even let me cast healing on him, so that absolutely will not res. Well, that's because it's not burn-in, Linarth. Like I said, some due diligence will help with burn-in. Also, modern OLED monitors have tons of built-in features to prevent burn-in. Like, that's normalized at this point. Well, either way, I don't have it random, so whatever. That was true in Earthbound as well. Let's go ahead and try to smoke bomb it while we're here. Yeah, if anything, the main reason I specifically didn't get an OLED this time was because it would be cheaper. I will say this, and this was mentioned earlier. The game feels so much better when I have an actual freaking party. Just another reason why the first few chapters kinda sucked. Yeah, the funny thing is the party is reasonably well balanced and reasonably well designed. You have two mages who have some coverage in what spells they both have. You've got Duster who has a great kit and hits like a truck. And then you've got Boney who's kind of an extra, but also serves as a good utility. That also means we have two healers in the party. Yeah, Boney has our ability to sniff, which is how you learn, enemy weaknesses and whatnot. And he's got one of the highest speeds of the party. He's just behind Duster on that. And he can use all kinds of items. So, thoughts on the Dram situation? If I could magically make every AI in the world stop working like that, I probably would. Just make them all stop working, just like that. Stop burning the water, stop burning the power, stop burning the coal. Stop burning people's jobs. Stop driving up the cost of certain specific chips. Start damaging the infrastructure for anything that isn't one specific thing. Don't even get me started about the way that kids in school are using AI, or teachers in schools are using AI. Don't even get me started on that. So we finally got the stupid egg back. Woo! Yeah, we've been after this since chapter 3. As a reminder, we're in chapter 5. Now I see. I really am Duster. I'm Duster. Guys, I'm Duster. I remember now, I really am Duster. Oh, that's disgusting, Max. Yahoo, I finally have my memory back. Awesome, we did it. Yep, you're Duster. Duster. I keep calling you that as many times as you want. Now don't you dare lose that egg again. You've always been Duster. You just forgot. Commander, what are you doing stiffing around in a place like this? Sorry, goofing around in a place like this. We're headed straight to Thunder Tower. If anyone needs to use the restroom on the way, please hold it in. But, okay. Can I go heal? Pretty sweet piloting, if I say so myself. Here we are, Thunder Tower. Please return to the generator room. Post haste. But yeah. Oh no. Okay, so Boney was brought back to life. That's cool. But we are still nauseated and very injured. This is the staff entrance. Say, do you ever find that embarrassing item of yours you accidentally threw away? Yeah. Thanks for asking. So, ironically, at this point in time, it depends on the country, Trafen. The EU and several other countries and the US are all approaching AI legislation very differently. Right now, the US is trying very, very hard not to legislate AI at all. there's some really specific problems and causes of that. Like, that's not a generic, such and such, politicians are dumb problem. That's something that's being heavily lobbied for. Favorite good game design in a bad or mediocre game? Hang on. Let's go to LoreRunner.com and look at our bad games list. Let's see here. We don't know why, Logan. I have theories, but they are only that. See, I'm trying to limit myself to something that's a good gameplay feature in execution, not just in idea, right? Because, like, there's plenty of good ideas that aren't followed through on, right? God, I'm down to like the negative 90s at this point. I'm having trouble coming up with something. Okay, you know what? Pokemon Red. We'll just go with that. Party of 6, 4 abilities. Make it work. The core structure of what a Pokemon game is. So here's the tower. I'll be here a minute. There are specific individuals who are currently trying very, very hard to ensure that certain elements of AI are being invested everywhere before the bubble bursts, so that they can be used as a form of monitoring software and therefore be used as a form to try and control certain elements of media consumption. Now, what I just said is fact. The motive behind doing that, who knows? You can come up with your own answer to that. Really low? Why? I mean, I love the 4 move limit thing personally, but that's because I'm an idiot. Excuse me. I'm a moron because I get headaches. Ow. So, how far behind are we on levels at this point? Not too bad. We're only 2 levels behind from the various deaths earlier. So, yeah, the main reason I like those limitations is because of the concept of build gameplay. Now, I know that sounds like a duh, but forgive me for explaining something you already know, though, because this is more for the crowd. Build, by definition, means limitations. If you have access to every ability and every spell and every kit and every class and everything, that's not a build at that point. That actually is a totally separate concept, which I personally call an Omni. Oblivion, right? You can be a maxed out everything in Oblivion. There's not really builds, strictly speaking. So, having those kind of limitations encourages variety, it encourages combinations, it encourages design. This move works with this other move, works with this other move. Synergies, right? No suspicious people pass through here, sir. What about me? Here to check on the latest stats on the lightning damage? It's zap kaboom perfect. Cool. Excuse me. So anyways, the point being, I tend to like build gameplay. Also, build gameplay tends to have better game design in general. Because the designers know you can only have 4 moves, for example. And therefore can design certain things around that limitation. I mean, you know me, options are options, Loke, and I'm pretty much always in favor of options. It is a rare time where I am not in favor of options. No, the main thing I used to dislike about the limitations of the moveset was in Gen... I guess that would be 7, so excuse me, 6 and earlier, there's this concept called an HM. And HMs take up move slots. In fact, in early gens, it doesn't just take up a move slot. It takes up a move slot and will never go away. So it permanently takes up a slot. Yeah, it's the reason we call them HM friends. Because you bring a Pokemon whose only this monster's name is whatever, whose only purpose was to be there to be the HM. Oh, absolutely, Rex. It would have affected their design philosophy in every game since. Think about abilities too. Think about signature moves. Both of those are designed with the idea that you have 4 moves that are available to you, and that's it. I should probably look at the walkthrough, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Here we go. Interesting music for this dungeon, by the way. If the generator is destroyed, Thunder Tower will collapse, so a special type of trap's been installed in the generator. I suppose in RPG terms it would be your so-called mid-boss. Thanks, game. Tomorrow's lightning schedule has arrived, so I'm trying my best to program it all in. It's tough work, especially when dry eye starts to set in. The problem here is what I'd like to say, but the generator defense system partway up the tower is really buggy. We'd be in such huge trouble if any bad guys snuck in. Yeah, that generator defense tower system for the tower. Things could get ugly quick. Could be random? Itoi himself is actually relatively well known as being progressive for Japanese celebrity. And it's entirely possible that that's running into that. Remember, whatever the issue is, I'm pretty certain that it's something drama-y, right? Either legal drama or personal drama, so... Tower part of Thunder Tower is full of areas that are always short-circuiting. It's really dangerous, so please don't go up there. Of course, of course. Yeah, I went and visited that Tasmany place for the first time the other day. And then, well, I'm not sure how to put it, but it charred? People who disobeyed all had their houses charred. We're doing terrible things here, aren't we? Yeah. Today's weather forecast, Tasmania region, sunny, with occasional lightning in places. Mount Oriander region, Cerulean Beach region, lightning once preparations are complete. Commander, have you changed your party members? And that dog fellow in the back. He certainly is dog-like, like the way he walks, for instance. It's so cute. I mean, if Itoi put his foot down and said, "You're never releasing this," then they never would. We use the electric catfish to generate our electricity. That's your generator. Right. Seem to have grown used to our scare tactics lately. I never get surprised anymore. Ooh, Guard, blah. You can do it, catfish. Give it all you got. Persevere. Persevere. Present power output, just a little over 10 kilozaps. Yeah, power output's really fallen. The only person above is our boss. Our boss is incredibly scary. And frightening. But he's a hardcore DCMC fan. Right, so speaking of... I still have the hat, but do I still have... the pamphlet? I do. Okay, cool. He's got the merch. Yeah, let's go ahead and learn a spell while we're here. I do have boxers, yes. It's on Duster. My real-life boxers are on Duster, too. Ooh, Healing Bee. Hang on, what does that cure? It cures all stat ailments on one person. Okay. A DCMC poster. It shouldn't be on sale yet. It's in perfect mint condition. Another one is being kept in storage. Yep. Limited edition fan club DCMC figurines. They've been very delicately crafted. Another is kept in storage. Yo, you came all the way here to visit me, kiddos? You got the best of me last time because I wasn't in my ordinary clothes. Now I'm in a combat suit. It's handle with care time. Yeah, looks like they don't stack. I figured. Hi, Dakota. God, he's a pencil rocket on him while we're here. Yep, he's mesmerized by the boxers. Don't think about that too much. He's jealous of the boxers. Don't think about that either. They are limited edition. Just a tire. Ow. You know what I mean? Boney goes first on almost every case, so I can actually plan around that a little bit. Just a bit. You know, Lucas is just slow as molasses. Which makes sense. As weird as that sounds, your healer is usually your slowest character. And Lucas is very clearly a Dragon Quest main character, so he's a melee healer nuker. And they tend to be slow. course, I managed that on her. And not Duster, the guy who's going to hit like a truck. God, he hurts. This is after debuffing him like 3 times. So he's as minimum as he's getting for his offense now. There we go. Imagine being so jealous of our merch that you just stand there while we beat the crap out of you. It's not like we're killing you, but still. Oh hey, Boney was alive for a boss. Holy crap. Right? We didn't kill him, right? You may think you're a good impersonator, but you can't fool my eyes. For I am Facade! Oh yeah, that reminds me. I've gotten several people who say that Facade isn't a negative to story. But nobody ever gave me any reasoning. You gotta, like, give some kind of justification for that. So if anybody wants to argue that, I am willing to listen. I'd be curious. You're the very definition of the phrase, like a moron flying into a flame, Lucas. The pain and woe I went through after Drago sent me flying. I really must repay that favor in full. Like, I've already given my justification for the negative, so... Do you honestly think you could escape? Yeah, because you're too busy eating bananas. That's better. Much easier to move around now. Oh, but it looked pretty good on you. Yes, the pigs are doing the Nazi salute, because of course they are. They're pigs. Just think about it. Wait, what? It's a screw loose. We're fighting screw looses. I've not actually watched the film, but I'm familiar with it random. Probably one of my favorite portrayals of death in recent memory. That was a weird sentence. So yeah, Jack Horner is like this horrifically disgusting person in the film with absolutely no redeeming features at all. Other than his actor, of course. Now, I get where you're going at. Would he be a negative? The problem is, at that point, I need to actually watch it. But yeah, I agree. I think that it's the designated hate target, right? It's the character whose job it is to be hated by the audience. BioWare loved that archetype, for example. and doesn't always do it well. Like, every BioWare game has at least one designated hate target. That's also why I made that whole point yesterday about how execution is what really matters. I can think of plenty of irredeemable, complete monster characters who would be a positive to story rather than a negative. But honestly, Facade just doesn't feel that way to me. He feels more like just an asshole. He feels like a crude attempt at the same concept. Like what you'd get if you got... This is going to sound like an insult. A first-time author's attempt at that archetype, right? Which we know Itoi is not a first-time author, but here we are, right? Facade just feels like someone's like, okay, I want to make this guy someone everyone hates. And then they had no idea how to accomplish that, so they just made him, like, constantly torture a monkey. You know? Now, that's a good question, Random. So you could argue Pokey in Earthbound, but no, I don't think Pokey is that archetype. If he is, he's not a successful attempt at that archetype. Pokey's kind of a unique villain. He is an idiot who has bumbled his way up the ladder because we, the heroes, keep knocking off his bosses. Like, he's a very strange form of a Krennic. Yeah, liar, exaggerate, maybe? And then we've got... Wait, Itoi wrote FF16, Kennex Cow? Oh my god. Why didn't nobody tell me? Oh, we should heal really quick. Nice room, by the way. There's no need to rush. 5-second regenerates. His Highness's water. But yeah, no, I think you're right, Random. I think, legitimately, I think what happened was that Itoi doesn't really have a lot of experience with that archetype and was trying to do something like that. And went too far with it. Considering the Facade character was like I'm with total certainty, was written for Earthbound 64, the game which was way more depressing because he himself was going through such a depressive cycle at the time. It's entirely possible that very much tainted his view. I haven't really mentioned this yet, but the central theme of this entire work is humans suck. And that's dismissive. But my point is, when I say people suck, I mean that like in a multifaceted way. People will always work against their own interests. People will always be corrupted if given an opportunity to do so. People can only be innocent with a lack of information. People will always be self-destructive. People will do everything in their power to damage and destroy the environment around them, etc., etc., etc. Every aspect of the story hits that beat over and over, and it could be Facade was just another flavor of that. Who are you? Well, I'm an asshole who's terrible. So, maybe this is just my own take on this, but Facade doesn't just feel like, yeah, a TV changes you. Exactly, Zalakam. Granted, there's literal brainwashing. Let's just ignore that for a second. But yeah, like, these people become shallow and materialistic because a dude showed up and gave them money. That's it. Like that's I guess there's the lightning thing too, but really, most people were on board before they started doing the lightning strikes. And it's like, okay. Because people are horrible. Because people are horrible. That's the central theme of the work. It is entirely possible that Facade was intended to be a soapbox, right? That this was Itoi channeling all of his disgust and disdain at humanity, which he had at the time when he was writing this, into Facade, and that so it comes across as a character who is preachy, for lack of a better way to put it. And that might actually be the kind of thing that is really influencing his role in the narrative and his position within the story axis. Anyways, forgive me. So, nice room, huh? For you today, Your Highness. I can select a nice song for you if you'd like. Would you like to listen to something? What the? Yeah, that's another thing. I don't want to get too literal here, but a peaceful island is changed because foreigners show up and start introducing external concepts to the island. Sounds like a pretty Japanese story, doesn't it? Oh, that hurt like hell. Not to be dismissive about what was done to Japan, but, like, for real, that's a very Japanese story. Actually, I did, Rex, yeah. We encountered that earlier, too. It's not even just the West. I guess it is technically the West, but it's not what you mean when you say the West. Because some of the first times Japan really encountered that was with both China and the Mongols. Both of them have made inroads long before, you know, anyone in the European area have heard of them. So, I agree with that, Sovicom, for reasons I don't really want to spoil yet, but you get my point, right? Like, that, it's just making the point more thoroughly. Everything's peaceful and wonderful because everything sucks, but we all agree not to talk about it. And then the external outsiders show up and make everything even worse. Like, it's bad all the way down. Like I said, it is a multifaceted humans suck story. It sounds strange, but I don't know how else to put that. If you take Master King's very precious friend's yo-yo, I'll be mad. Mad, 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 mad! Holy camole. Yeah, no kidding, Dream Whisperer. So this is Little Miss Marshmallow. Okay, so let's do this. Is she weak to anything? Okay. I mean, that is one of my jobs, Savicom. Trying to put words to things like that. Hopefully I'm good at it by now. I've been doing it for a long time. So that's 3 down? No, it's only 2 down. So let's do a 3rd down. Honestly, let's do a 4th. Just really lean into that. Okay, so that's 4 offense downs. And by 4, I mean 3, excuse me. That's 4. Okay, so we're actually capped. We're at 3. Yeah, no kidding, Rex. I've wondered. So we don't actually have a lot of specifics about what the original story was. We know that it's not as changed from this version as it could be, but we do know that he went back through, did a polishing pass, and pulled it out. Yes, actually. I did notice that. So we know he did a polishing pass. We know he pulled up several elements. We know the ending is completely different. And that's all we know with total certainty. Everything else is debatable. And mostly stuff that's been reverse engineered over the years. She needs defense down. Yeah, no kidding, random. I wonder what it would be like if we had gotten Earthbound 64. Like, was originally going to happen. If eToy had simply decided to make Earthbound 64 a 2D game instead of a 3D game, there's probably a 99% chance it would have come out. Because remember, the only real major issue they kept having was his focus on 3D. And he himself admitted that. And once he backed off of that, they made this game with no issues. So it's entirely possible that we just would have gotten it if they just made it a 2D game, and that would have been that. I'm right. What's the hack, Brig? I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, there's phase 2. That's a good question, random. Because we do have that Octopath Traveler aesthetic, which I kind of hate. No offense to anybody who likes it. I know it's a very popular aesthetic. I just dislike the execution of it. I think the idea is fine as long as they get rid of the frickin' blur and the lighting issues. But yeah, no, like we can have 3D games that aren't like full, no, really 3D. We've proven that recently. That's a good question, Blade Javal. We may never know. For real, we may actually never know. We do know that Ito is trying to be very ambitious. Probably more so than he should have been. But past that, we don't have a lot of details. We also know that this game was originally supposed to be much longer, right? So it's entirely possible that the original game, it wasn't the fact that it was in 3D, it was the fact that it was going to be, like, hilariously long and also in 3D. And they probably started running into literal physical limitations, right? For those of you not aware, especially back in the 90s, actual cartridge size was one of the biggest limitations with regards to making these kind of games. So if you want a 20-chapter game with 3D elements, you're going to have to reuse sprites and textures constantly in order to make that fit. It's one of the reasons why so many of the earlier games like Ocarina of Time reuse tons and tons of assets in order to kind of trick the player into thinking it's a new asset when it actually isn't. Is also why they shared so much of that across Mario 64, Star Fox 64, and Ocarina of Time. Anyways. I keep saying 20 chapters instead of 8. Everything I can understand means it was probably close to about 15. But that's estimated off the top of my head. I have nothing concrete about that. Hey, Brigwin, could Kennex Cow get a Discord invite, please? And whatever you do, Kennex Cow, don't look in the memes channel. Actually, yeah, Blade Javal, that's exactly right. Some of you probably remember Quest 64. We actually talked about that during the Quest 64 run. Quest 64 dungeons were actually enormous in terms of raw physical size. But the thing was, they were massive empty corridors with no real geometry to them, and the same texture over and over and over again. Because that's the only way they could fit it, right? So we got the Friends Yo-Yo. I'm just kidding. The memes channel's fine. I couldn't think of another channel that was appropriate to make the joke on, so I just defaulted. The anime channel. There you go. That's the true hell channel right there. Gloves that fit like a glove. Ooh, that's expensive, but I do want that rubber cape. Same song. Well, hang on. Let's try one more time. There we go. There we go. So, haha, references to Earthbound. Moving on. Nice room, huh? Yeah, the teddy bears are a nice touch. Okay. Oh my god, that was 200 damage. Now, we killed it before it finished, but jeez Louise. Thank God for rolling HP. Let's get out of here. Holy crap. Thank you, Mr. Red. I am sorry that I am considered necessary, but... I'm about to get hit by lightning. Lucas, you alright? Yeah, I just got struck by lightning. I'm fine. So that's how we learned PK Flash for some reason. So that's actually a reference. The Flash, the original Flash, learned his original Flash powers from being struck by a bolt of lightning while dousing himself in chemicals. You get it. At least I think it was chemicals. Might not have been chemicals, now that I'm saying that out loud. Okay. Who's ready for another boss? Suspicious individuals detected inside generator room. Activating defense system. Repeat, activating defense system. All personnel, it would be nice if you'd evacuate immediately. Well, that's horrifying looking. Look at that guy. That's a thing. Yeah, can we just leave? He's clearly stuck in the generator. Can we just go? No? Okay. Alright. Hang on. What's he weak to? Let's double check this. Okay, so the usual here. The robot electricity for. Ah! Why? Okay, offense up. Offense down. Offense down. Sniff. Weak against ice. Congrats, Mr. Red. What'd you end up getting, by the way? Okay, so physical attacks cause a shock. That's great. Okay, his offense is thoroughly lowered. Let's get some healing on. Ah. Well, then let me ask this. Which Switch 1 games are you going to play first on it? I'll start doing defense down. And, I don't know, just defend. Oh, shoot. He's about to nuke us in the face. Okay. Yes, the transfer is super easy. Just make sure both switches are, like, connected to their power cord. And just put them, like, right next to each other. They'll be fine. It's actually really intuitive. Go figure. Let's try one more tickle stick. No, I changed my mind. Let's try a smoke bomb, and then let's try a defense down. There we go. Did it work? Yes. Okay. So his accuracy's been reduced. Oh my god! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, stop doing the animations! Come on! I need to heal! I need to heal right now! I don't care what else you do. Just heal him. Just heal. 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 Damn it, game. Did you see that? I was off by like a second, too. Oh, you stupid game. God damn it. Just... Ah! Alright, alright. Let's recover. Damn it. Nope, still can't. Healing beta. I could try a secret herb. Hey! Looks like secret herbs actually do res. Holy crap. Holy god. It did mention incapacitation. Okay, so let's spin around just recovering. Okay. Don't use thunder in this fight. Why not? Don't answer that. Okay, that should max out Boney. Let's go ahead and also max out Duster. Good morning, Fuzzy Duck. And Kuatora. Okay, we should be good for his next big sweep. So it's guard, guard, freeze. That shouldn't prompt a counter. Jesus Christ, that attack. Didn't kill anybody this time. I mean, there's actual music in this one, Fuzzy Duck. If there's one way this game is better than Earthbound, it's music. Not combo to save my life on this stupid song. True. True, Rex. Okay. Now we're going to recover again. How much health do you think this guy has? I might be to put more healing items on Boney, by the way, so he can do something when he's not attacking. Well, I will admit, actually, I'm gonna walk that sentence back. I think that Mother 3 has much better battle music But like Earthbound's towns or deserts or whatever tend to be really good, right? Like that's where the soundtrack tends to shine over there. Whereas in combat you get which, you know, I don't know what else to add to that. Yeah, it has to be in the person's inventory, to quote it. So I need to give those healing items to Boney so he can use them. Do I have any... I do not. Eh. Oh, there's the big one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, thank God. I didn't have a good answer for that. Look, it's in their inventory. We can't interact with their inventory. It's theirs, duh. Okay. Jesus. Well, that doesn't sound like a good thing, Fuzzy Duck. Okay, so... serious errors occurred in the generator. Serious errors occurred in the generator. All personnel evacuate immediately. We... You! How dare you destroy this vital system of ours? I guess it's a case of fools like smoke. Enjoy heights. What? What? Hi, Morganite. You pathetic fools. There's nowhere to run now. You've been a real thorn in our sides, you know that. What's funniest of all is that happiness could have been yours had you simply stayed in Tasmania and lived quietly without a care in the world. Where do you keep getting these stupid bananas from? Alright, it's all set then. I'll be done here soon, so leave the mother pork ship on standby up above. Thunder Tower is no longer usable, but this is the perfect chance to eliminate a whole lot of you in one fell swoop. It's but much for 3 lousy rats, but our king loves being flashy. So I've decided you and Thunder Tower can disappear flashily together. Looks like my ride is here. Later days, pals. Okay, all set. Destroy Thunder Tower. Oh, Lucas. We haven't known each other for long, but it's been fun. I'll never forget about you guys. And then he slips on his own banana peel and falls to his death. Why did we wait? Is that? Oh, wow, that's the first time we've seen him, isn't it? At the end of Chapter 5. You're trying to shake us off. Lucas, Kumatora, Boney, hold on tight now. This poor snake. Jester, it's me, Rope Snake. I know this isn't the best time to chat, but I have some good news for me and bad news for you. Good news for me is that although we haven't known each other long, I'm now a major character in the story, thanks to you. Bad news for you is that my jaw isn't sturdy enough to support the weight of 3 people and 1 dog. In other words, my jaw, it's at its limit. This is literally jaw-dropping. Yeah, maybe you should have grabbed the ladder earlier, you idiots. Moving puppets made from clumps of earth, a tower that can fire thunderbolts on demand, an extensive highway system, ships that fly through the sky. The enemy that Lucas and his companions must stand up against has grown to such an enormous scale. Did they even stand a chance against vile and powerful Nemesis? No. Common sense must be ignored in a situation like this. Even if there's only a 1 in a billion chance of victory, that means there is also a 1 in a billion opportunity of turning the tables completely. Will Lucas, Kumatora, and Duster be separated once again? Or will they work together to overcome the obstacles that stand in their way? From the flying ship, a masked man looks downward upon Lucas and his friends. Lucas and friends, his profile still very youthful. The tale now moves to its next chapter, with an almost certain promise of battles far more intense than before. Translation: I hope you haven't been getting used to the difficulty, because it's about to get worse. I hope that's not true. I'm just guessing. Hello, I'm a frog. Shall we record your game? Okay, I guess. So, chapter 6 of 8. Now, I don't want to point this out, because Pax and I were talking about this last night, but you notice how the plot hasn't started yet? Not really. Now, that's fine, but like we talked about, chapter 4 was kind of the real prologue. And what we just did was kind of the starter adventure. I mean, it was even the local problem, taking out the Thunder Tower, which was causing the lightning strikes on the nearby areas, so... What's a GPA's battery life? It's actually a good question. Someone want to Google that? Yeah, Chapter 7... I don't want to spoil too much, but Chapter 7's when things get started. Yeah, you heard me right. Started. But as we've actually talked about before, Chapter 7 and 8 are incredibly dense. Like, all of a sudden, stuff is just going to start happening and happening and happening. 15 hours. That's actually really impressive. God, their hardware used to be legit. Look, I like the Switch, but mechanically, like engineering-wise, the Switch just doesn't hold a candle to the Game Boy. Or the SP, while we're on the subject. Lucas. Yes. Oh, by the way, there is a recommended level. No. The GBA SP. I don't know if it stood for anything. How would SP stand for Super Nintendo? The SP was the brick. It's the one that had the flip like this. Had its own built-in backlight, and was honestly just a pretty solid piece of engineering. That could be it, Dream Whisperer. You could, Synthelius, that is correct. So you had a fairly large amount of backwards compatibility in addition to a solid piece of hardware. I got a lot of usage out of my SP, is all I'm saying. Special? Yeah, the SP had a chargeable battery. Built-in lithium, or whatever. Oh, you just meant story positive, Zor. Sorry, that makes sense. But yeah, we Assassin's Creeded that. Wait, what? Oh, I guess that was chapter 6. So hey, we're in chapter 7 now. The thing I was literally just talking about. No wonder I didn't have any memory of chapter 6. I was actually, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, what the hell happens in chapter 6? Because I couldn't come up with anything. So, yeah, chapter 7. The plot has begun. Okay, okay. I guess that's true, little Billy. Yeah. All right. All right. That's, yeah, okay. So, Wolverale. What is, as they say, up? It's a good sequence, but, like, that's a really strange decision. And once again, it makes me wonder very much about if there was intended to be more that just got chopped, right? I mean, okay, we know there was content that wasn't good, that was good getting chopped, but like how much, you know, and where? Bigger questions. But yeah, plus to story, obviously. Strange structure, but I mean, it's still a good scene. That's not really the issue here. So, one of the things that's pretty easy to tell if you examine the game is that chapter 7 and 8, which are the last two chapters, were supposed to be more chapters. It was supposed to be stretched out more. That's not a complaint. That's an observation, right? We don't know exactly how many, but there's a reason why the first few chapters, you know, just meander, and the last two chapters race. Anyways, he's really asleep. At least he doesn't seem to be hurt. There's a lot of density in the last two chapters, Mr. Red. We'll probably not finish the game today, put it that way. Oh, you're finally awake. Don't worry, Boney's in tip-top shape, too. Yeah, we have functionally reached the half point of the game. Which is just... In a dream I had, Hinawa told me to pile hay in that spot right away. She saved your lives. Strange. Hinawa appeared in Alex's dream and told him to pile hay in that one spot. Then in the real world, right out of the blue, you two fall into the pile. Strange as strange can be. Yeah, so to be very clear, Hinawa, like, by all accounts, that's actually her, right? This isn't some kind of vague, meandering, possibly, maybe, sort of thing. No, that's her. She's interacting. The end. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff I've been keeping my lips shut about this entire time. Yeah, ghosts are real in this world. And zombies. And giant piles of puke. Say, was Duster with you? Oh, yeah. He's dead now, though. I thought so, but I doubt there's any need to worry. I'll let Wes know. Lucas, it seems you've met one of my magpie friends. They may not look like it, but they're trustworthy. They may be able to help you out. Good question, Savacom. You all better now? Try not to be so reckless anymore. Look, I'm here visiting my grandma. Oh, we already talked about that. What's that? Well, I don't know if you... Okay. That's true, we fought a pile of trash and a sentient instrument. It's actually kind of funny. They really have to kind of balance the weird in these games. It's one thing that I personally think that Earthbound did quite well. The weird was sufficiently well balanced that you could still take it seriously, which is good, because Earthbound, I know this is going to sound strange, is actually a pretty serious story. A very, very dark story. But yeah, this one, I mean, they're definitely weirder, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And by a minute, I mean, like, probably later this evening. You okay there, Ionia? Why, I did the gag on my own. I just moved my mouth up and down, like so, and slowly slipped it off. I'm wonderful. Hate to be a bother. Could you stand me up? Yeah, sure. Thank you, darling. I don't know what happened. I was minding my own business, taking off my makeup, when suddenly I was physically assaulted. What an unfabulous time to be attacked. Oh my. You're that boy I met at the hot spring the other day, aren't you? Seems the threads of fate have led us to each other again. The moment I realized you could use PSI, I knew there was something between us. You're undoubtedly the one we magpies have been waiting for tens of thousands of years. I'm going to assume they're exaggerating. Because, well, honestly, nothing else would make sense here. Can you sense it too? Can you feel the time drawing near? It's okay if you can't. I'm not entirely sure about it either. Wait a second. If I was attacked, could it mean... I hope Aeolia is alright. I wish we could fly there, but I can't without my makeup on. All I can do is walk on land like a human. How tragic. Oh well, I'll walk if I have to. And you're coming with me. Let's go to Aeolia's house, okay? Let's make some magic happen together. I mean that in a nice way. As opposed to what, exactly? You could go straight up the river. Hold on, you guys. I have no idea what you're talking about just now, but if it's up the river you need to go, it's our time to shine. Follow us. Okay. We just love to row our boat. We used to be boatless, you see. We just got this. It's the greatest boat ever. You'll get on, of course. Yes. Yes. The boat. What? That's a pretty advanced random-ass village river bridge. Row, row, row your boat. Captain, life is not a dream. We just got this. It's the greatest boat ever. He'll get on, of course. No. No. We just love to row a boat. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Are we gonna, like, unbind Iolia? So, I was recently getting a fairly large amount of website updates and paperwork done, and when I do that, I tend to put on a movie to just have in the background. The most recent one I did was Star Trek V, because it's not good enough that I'm going to be distracted by it, but it's not, you know, I don't know, it's a perfect put it in the background movie. So it's kind of fresh in my mind, is what I'm trying to say. That movie's so bad, too. Speaking of bad fiction. Okay, here we go. Oh, what happened? Why aren't you wearing any makeup, Ionia? This is no time to be silly, Aeolia. I was attacked, so I rushed here to see if you were all right. I'm just fine. I'm as lovely as I always am. But never mind me. Why don't you untie that rope already? Oh, I was in such a rush I never noticed. What a shock. Lucas, could you untie me now? Unbelievable. You have no sense of courtesy. Ah, who's that fine figure? Why, it's me, without my makeup. I'm sexy even without makeup on. Yeah, most people are. Sorry, I'm an anti-makeup person. Not even like a not pro-makeup. I'm just straight up an anti-makeup person. Speaking of which, I don't think I wrote down your donation, Wolverine, because I'm stupid. So let's jot that down. For Expedition 33, Echo 2, and Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Thank you, Wolverine. I do appreciate you very much. As always. I admittedly can't stand the feel of makeup. Again, theater, right? Because you got to do some foundation, because you got to like get rid of the shine. So yeah, it's understandable why you put makeup on when you go on stage. But oh my god, it feels terrible. Like it's uncomfortable the entire time. It also looks terrible when in person, which I mean I know it's the point, because you're not seeing them in person. You're seeing them like way over there. But it's always funny to me, like seeing someone like 2 feet in front of you when they've got stage makeup on. Anyways, while they're putting their makeup on, just 1 second. There, all done. I'm pretty again. You look completely unchanged. Yuck. You can keep that lipstick. Indirect kisses with other girls aren't my thing. Oh, I have a bad feeling. What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? Yeah, actually random. Because there's a lot of things that Gimchi... Yeah, as I say, for the Grinch and for the Mask is another one he had issues with. Over in Star Trek, several of the actors would have, for lack of a better way to put it, breakdowns. Just little episodes when they had to wear some of the extremely encasing outfits, like Nana Visitor, when she was in the Cardassian makeup, is a good example of that. Oh my, Aeolia. Your body, it's starting to disappear. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So it is, it's disappearing. I'm disappearing, but I'm well. But does this mean... So there's these needles, right? We actually saw one earlier. Once. The needle in Osohe Castle that I protected for so long. Someone has pulled it. Someone is able to pull the needles has finally appeared. The dark dragon sealed away by the 7 needles will awaken. Yeah, so you know how in Earthbound we find out about the Yor sanctuaries immediately, and going and getting the like 7 Yor sanctuaries and 7 melodies is like the main plot of the entire game? Well, we just found out about that here in Chapter 7. If the needle really has been pulled, I will vanish very soon. But it'd be wise to know who pulled it. Someone with a dark heart? Someone with a light heart? The answer to that may change the fate of the world completely. So today is the day I disappear. Aonia, what's your name? Doggy. Bye-bye. Aeolia, you're an open-hearted person. That's why we got along so well. Yeah, humans are evil, after all, so... Just make sure we have that. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of quick things here. First, let's go ahead and give that to Boney, like I said I was going to do. Let's give that to Boney. Let's give that to Boney. Let's give that to Boney. No, you always start with bad news first. Speaking of which, my new TV is here. I'm not going to set it up right now. I'll set it up during lunch. And then I'll take a picture of that same, the green image I have. I actually still have it saved. So you can see how the difference is. Okay, so... Wait, hang on 1 sec. I'll show you something. I'm not sure I can. But, like, there's that, right? I can barely reach my arms across the whole thing. I'm hoping the actual monitor isn't this big. I'm not sure it'll fit. If it is. It's supposed to be about like that. Yes, that's the new monitor. I'm not gonna get out of here. I'm trapped here now. Okay, do you want to say hi really quick?
Hi.
Come here, you. Let's see you. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Okay, you can steal my seat. Oh my gosh! You're me? You have to stream now. Say stream, stream, stream.
Stream.
And then you have to play the video game. Play the video game. Well, that's a good question. Here, let's actually pull the game up so you can see what you're doing. See, you can move around now. Where do you want to go? I know, you're smart.
I have that one.
No, you cannot. I'm sorry. This is not a game for you. You know, it is a game for you. It's flinging you onto the bed. Yeah. Wait, do you want to be tossed on the bed?
No.
Okay, no tossing. But you will still fall. Scooch, scooch. Go get ready. Like, it can't be that big, right? Right? Yeah, I know how monitor stands come. It probably has one of those wall mounts, too. Which I actually have no need of. So... Okay. There's got to be some styrofoam, right? Right. So, who wants some exposition? Well, it's tough. We got to do some random trash first. Cleocatras. This is now Savicom approved stream. I did see that random, yeah. Their variant on the Black Friday sale. The irony is I have basically all the Switch games that I need for, you know, the show. No! Damn it. You know, Mr. Red's in the background going, alright. Oh, dude. Oh, you know what? Do I own Super Mario RPG R? This would be a good time to pick that up. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. It's right there on the screen, Linareth, if you don't believe me. Which you clearly don't. Okay, I don't blame you. Give me a sec. I keep alcohol wipes here. Specifically for screen-related emergencies. Just like this. Alright, do I own SMRPGR? Probably under S. Doesn't look like I do. That's interesting. I do have Once Upon a Jester. Bought that game twice. It's okay, Linareth. I know you hate me. I mean, you do, clearly. In the back of your mind, you're like, yes, at long last I will destroy that accursed Laura. Have I bought Prime 4? That's actually a good question. I need to grab that, too. Yeah, the heck. Let's try this. There it is. Yeah. It depends, random. I know. Cop-out answer, but it's true. 6. Okay. This is so stupid. Oh, God, that's insane to think about, Rex. You're right, of course. Sorry, 1 second. It's being slow. I swear I already picked up Prime 4. But I'm not seeing it. There. Okay. Sorry about the delay. Okay. What the hell is that doing? Oh yeah. Defeating Cleocatra. The enemy Lunareth doesn't believe exists. Oh my god, Rex. Metroid Prime 3 came out 1 year after Mother 3, the game we're playing right now. Think about that for a second. Now, we've had plenty of Metroid games since then. No, I got it, Random. Thank you. Like, we had Samus Returns, we had Dread, we had Prime 1 Remaster. We had other M. Federation Force. Yes, Dark Samus is, aka Metroid Prime, is from Metroid Prime. Oh my god, Random. Alright, first of all, I'm gonna read your gaming card, really quick. Second of all, That is a hell of an entry into the Metroid franchise. I only pre-order stuff I know I'm playing for the show. Like, that's it. So, you know, Prime 4, we are playing for the show. I am guaranteed to buy it. Clunk, right? I'm actually really case by case when it comes to pre-orders. And for the record, I include early access as a pre-order concept. So, the needle really has been pulled. I have absolutely no idea who pulled it. The Dark Dragon's heart will become as light or as dark as the person who pulls it. That's what is said anyway, but I don't sense anything here at all. I don't sense a heart of good or evil. How mysterious. Could there be people in this world without hearts? Kingdom Heartless! I always assumed the Dark Dragon would stay sealed away for eternity. No. We still have a chance left. You were able to learn PK power. Could it be that you're also able to... Oh, that's right. I haven't explained everything to him. So, who's ready for exposition? For real this time. I should probably get some water. First, know this. These are specially protected islands. We reside upon these islands together with a limitless power. That powers the dragon that sleeps in the darkness under the islands. The dragon is incredibly large, about as large as all these islands put together. Because the dragon is asleep, these islands are protected from disaster. But its power is too great for humans to control. It was for this reason our ancient magpie ancestors placed 7 needles in the dragon to make it sleep. 1 needle for each magpie. For a very, very long time, we have continued to guard the needles, but has been told that someone to wake the dragon will appear when its power is needed. However, if the one who needs the dragon's power has a heart of evil, that power will obey all that is evil. It is very possible everything could be completely destroyed simply to satisfy wicked ambition. On the other hand, the exact opposite is what we hope for. If a person with a heart of good pulls the dragon's needles and uses its power, the fate of all evil will be washed away and all life as we know it will shine brightly. That is what is told. Now remember, this story is about humans being horrible. Finally, listen to this, but don't worry. When each of our 7 needles is pulled, we magpies will cease to be, our millennia-long lives over. Isn't that just romantic of us? That's not what I would call romantic, but what the hell do I know? It is a 65QM7K, Lunarith. I'll type that up later, though. But if you can't feel like waiting, there you go. Hello, Off the Deeper End. Thank you very much, as always, for 1.5 years. But there is one other legend, the legend of the Deeper End. What company? Yeah. It's probably a company. It's not in the box, whatever it is. So, FF7R1, Signalis. It isn't. It's not in the box. Command and Conquer 1R. Hang on. It does. It sounds like a cool legend. The Legend of the Deeper. It's just a swimming pool. TCL. It is apparently TCL. QM65QM7K. Made by the... Yeah, the NFL logo is strewn all over this thing. The picture on the side is a giant football, right? Like it's this big is the picture. It's ridiculous. Like, that's most of the screen. It's like, okay. There's one other legend. It says, only those with the power of PK power can pull the 7 needles. Not even we magpies have that ability. In other words, you're able to pull the needles because you're a chosen boy. Yes, that's right. We are chosen by destiny. Hey, it's a phone. I'm going to watch all the sports balls. Commander, please hurry here. We've located the next needle. But the monkey. We need the monkey. The monkey can open it. Ah, what a pain in the neck. The monkey's the key. I'll explain details later. Please come to the Chimera Lab. I don't even know where the Chimera Lab is, right? No, actually. Commander, your voice sounds kind of cheery today. Anyways, take the crossroad train to the factory. When you go there, go west from the ropeway station. That's behind the factory. Kumatora cannot. In fact, there's only 2 individuals who can pull the needles. See you around, Linearth. Enjoys. It is a difference between the 2 consoles. Do not use the Switch 1 charger on the Switch 2 and vice versa. They are different under the hood. They are different electric currents and different hardware. This is a mistake I made for the exact same reason. Yes, really. Do not. Don't worry. It's not like it's going to really screw anything. Because what'll happen, I'll tell you exactly what happened. You'll pull it in the charger, and it will act as if nothing's plugged in, because the hardware is smart enough to recognize it's the wrong hardware. I'd be like, nope, there's no charger. So it's not bad, it's just irritating. That ladder's a shortcut back to Tasmily. Head there. I'm worried about my own needle now. I just know we'll meet again, but if we don't, then that means one of us has left this world. Bye! That's one way to teleport. But yeah, I hate to reiterate this point, but you see what I mean? We just now... How far into this game are we? Just now got the quest to go get the 7 MacGuffins. Now, there's a bit of a subversion there, because obviously one of the MacGuffins has already been got by someone who isn't us. Hey, go away. Yeah, like I said, this game has been putting Earthbound into a stark relief for me. As weird as that sounds, having the main plot dropped on you in the intro is something that I never realized I enjoyed until I had played a game where that wasn't true. Here we are. I can even explain why, because it's sort of my job to do stuff like that. The reason why is because it's not that the main plot is the main focus. You know me, I enjoy a lot of games which have a very weak main plot, but I really love the story of. It's because the main plot forms the central pillar of the game. In some games, right? Like Chrono Trigger is an example of that. You know what you're after, you know what you're doing, and you know why you're doing it for the entire game, because you've already been told what you're doing. Our goal is to stop Gygus. And so we're going to stop Gygus by going and connecting with the Yor locations. We don't know what that means yet. We don't know the significance of it. We don't know who Gygus is. We don't know why they're trying to destroy everything. But we don't need to, because that stuff can be filled out over the time. The point is, we have a central through point, right? There's a line you could pull through the overall narrative. And that line is, get things, stop Gygus. Dang it. Really low on health here. In other words, it can work to not have the main plot take focus right off the bat. But you need, if you're going to do that, you need to have a really strong hook. I can actually think of an example of a game that has a game that you don't encounter the main plot until about an hour into the game. And that game is Chrono Trigger. If you remember Chrono Trigger, you don't even get a hint that Lavos exists until you're pretty far in, relatively speaking. You've already gone to the past, done the entire first dungeon, fought the first 2 bosses. Sorry, so first dungeon, boss, second dungeon, boss, several substantial narrative sequences, an open world sequence, and then you flee to the future. And at that point, that's when the plot shows up. Chrono Trigger managed that because that whole first section I just mentioned was extremely dense and very well designed. It also was still doing establishment, the very nature and rules of time travel, among other things. So Kingdom Hearts 1 is an interesting one, because Kingdom Hearts 1 is... You once again, you find you have the overall goal and point pretty much right out of the gate. You know that there's a door. You know that it has something to do with the Heartless. You know that the Heartless are swarming worlds. You know all this by the time you finish Traverse Town, which is pretty early on. But then you move forward to, like, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 has an extended intro where you have absolutely no idea what's going on. But it works really well with that because the whole point is the mystery, which builds then up to the main central plot, which is running around trying to figure out what's going on. Kingdom Hearts 2 also has a subversion in that, which I will not spoil here. Other Kingdom Hearts games kind of drift around. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 starts off with a presumed quest, but it's actually a total lie, and it's just, they play around with it a bit. Lucas, have you seen Flint? No, actually. He was just here visiting Hinawa's grave. He's probably headed back to the mountains yet again to look for Klaus. He should smile more. Look for Klaus, visit Hinawa's grave. Look for Klaus, visit Hinawa's grave. That's all your old man does anymore. Yep, completely abandoning his son, a.k.a. us. We've grown so strong that Flint doesn't need to worry anymore. We've grown up to be a truly good lad. Which is good. Because, you know, for the last 3 years, our dad hasn't been one. Hasn't been a dad. Anyways, here's the courage badge. Woo. Oh, it's in the key items. That's interesting. Alright, let's hit a frog and see if we can get some money. Also, we're down to 2 party members again, I can't help but notice. Commander, where are you? Dakota? No, I'm just spouting nonsense. Everyone's waiting at the Chimera Lab. I still haven't arrived yet, though. The reason being is I forgot how to get here. I mean, I understand directions, but... Here's the directions, in case you forgot them earlier. I see the Chimera Lab now. You were right. Here's the directions for the 3rd time now. So do you mind explaining that, Mook, by the way? I will freely admit I put Chrono Trigger on something of a pedestal, but that's mostly because I think it's one of the best designed games ever made. So I'm curious what the issue was. Like, specifically. Yeah, I feel like the game wants me to go to the Chimera Lab. It's very strange. Okay, so I want to go by... the beach. Yeah, Chrono Trigger is an interesting example of a game. It's actually something I've talked about a lot. When a game is more tight, it does less. It tries less, but as a consequence of that, it has less opportunity for failure. That's Chrono Trigger to a T. Good morning, Evo. You missed the plot starting in Chapter 7 of 8? No, that's not a joke. Hello, Elazar. No. Sorry, I don't want to sound defensive, Mook. I meant it as a serious question. It's always interesting to see other people's perspectives, especially about something that I know extremely well. I mean, I've done a level 1 task of Chrono Trigger. I know that game's code, right? So, it's nice to hear the perspective of people who don't know the game as well, I mean. Do I like Garfield? No. I liked Garfield back when he was funny. I actually still have some of my original Garfield books. So, at this point in time, actually, yeah, off the deep end. Yeah, amusingly, I know StarCraft 1 and 2's code pretty well, too. So, obviously, there's the original SNES, haha, if you actually have access to that. But there's no formal or official emulation of the original SNES version, so that sucks. Then there's the DS version, which, once again, doesn't have any real formal emulation, so you have to have the original SNES or you have to have the original DS. There's the PlayStation 1 version that is garbage, don't ever touch it. It's actually the worst. They did several bad PS1 ports. Chrono Trigger is the worst of the PS1 cheapo ports they did back in the 90s. Don't play it. So that's 3 versions. And then there's the mobile phone / PC port. That's it. Those are your options. Now, I should probably mention that the PC version / mobile version has a lot of issues with it. Mostly because it was originally a mobile game, which was then dumped on the PC. It is worth noting they did actually polish up the PC version a little bit, but it is still buggy and still has issues with it. Weird little juddery, bad porty issues. Yeah, it also is very crash heavy. So the PS1 Chrono Trigger version was, oh god, hilariously unoptimized. For those of you not aware, Chrono Trigger Chrono Trigger would do things where it would preload assets in preparation for certain things. Now, this isn't unusual, except it was actually pretty unusual for an RPG to do something like that. What that meant is, even on the SNES, Chrono Trigger plays very smoothly. They actually polished it up in the DS version, so it plays somehow even more smoothly on the DS version. But that didn't work on the PS1 because the PS1's on a CD. So instead, whenever it goes to load a section, like, say, a battle, or loading a new screen, or loading a cinematic or whatever, a cutscene, it would have to then pull the CD to pull the information to do this. This meant a variable amount of waiting time depending on how long it took to spin up the CD, find the information, and pull it. Anywhere from about 5 or so seconds to closer to 30. Now, if that doesn't sound like a big deal, I have an entire category of negatives I call seconds and minutes. I want you to imagine that every single combat in the entire game adds around 20 seconds just of load time. You think FF9's bad? It's terrible. There's also some other issues and glitches with it because it was a very crude port. But oh my god, it was bad. Anyways, so I just answered the what's so bad about the PS1 version. So would I want so obviously I would love a proper remake of Chrono Trigger, even if it's just a polish up remaster like we got with Super Mario RPG or Paper Mario 2. So a proper remaster is actually what I mean. I'd be totally down for. Chrono Trigger doesn't need a remake, quite frankly. But would I want it to go full 3D or 2D? That's a good question. Once upon a time, I would say I would be totally cool with 2D, and honestly, I still mean that. But, have you seen Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 on the recent releases that just came out this year? Because those games did a lot with their graphics and present them, and you get the idea, right? That. It's like Octopath Traveler if Octopath Traveler was actually good. Whee. Now, with something like Chrono Trigger, that'd be even harder. For those of you not aware, Chrono Trigger actually has very extensive sprite sheets, which means lots of frames of animation. Lots of different emotes that the characters can do. So that means a lot of work to make that work. I sure hope so, Kenix Cow, but probably not. Again, I didn't like Octopath Traveler's visuals, but a lot of that's due to the execution. Thank you for riding with us today. Yeah, no kidding, Dream Whisperer. So yeah, we just increased our empathy again. Remember, that stat barely does anything. Go and dump our money off in the bank while we're here. Chrono Trigger came out in 1994 or 6, I forget which. It has, however, been a minute. I think it does, Rex. Don't quote me on that, though. Either way, I know there's a mod for it, because I've already looked into that. 96, thank you. 94 and 96 blur in my head, because both of them are just such hallmark years for gaming. I'll be right back. I mean, they were. 94, 95, and 96, collectively, are some of the best gaming years in history. There are other years that contest that, of course, including modern years, before you think I'm just a classic snob. But 94, 95, and 96 were kind of just banger after banger. And a lot of Drek. Secret of the Stars? Yeah, that was 96, wasn't it? God. Did I play games that era? Yes. I've been playing games for a long time. That is a Horsantula. Ow. Well, something I've kind of taken, this is just a purely personal take on, best worst years kind of thing, or best worst decades, is every year, all of them have Drek, right? Drek movies, Drek shows, Drek games, Drek books, Drek music. So I tend to find it more useful to, as weird as it sounds, ignore the Drek when it comes to grading a year or a decade, and just seeing how many bangers they had, right? How much did they succeed? Because the ratio is always going to be horrifically slanted. Any year is going to be horrifically slanted, right? So just look at the sheer number, the sheer quantity of how much they actually nailed it, and then compare and contrast that. Yeah, was it 94? No, it wasn't. Yeah, exactly, Blade 12. 90% of everything is crap. Needle appears to be a strange type of door in the Murasaki forest. One of the monkeys in the Chimera Labs tried a key to pull the needle, but it's broken out of its cage and it's running loose inside the building. Okay. Sorry, it's cold out. Anyway, please send reinforcements. Hey, you, that's the key to... Right. Yeah, even to this day. I agree. Synthelius. Oh yeah, no, like a lot of people are like, "Oh, gaming's dead," and I constantly push back against that because we still have some awesome games that come out now, and still have great games coming out. Um, was it 2022? There was a recent year which just had an extremely good year for gaming. Don't think it was 2022. It might have been 2023. It was the year that everything was pushed back to because of COVID, right? Because a lot of these games were supposed to come out a little bit more spread out, and then they all came out in the same year. And so we just had a ton of great games. So here we go. We've got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We've got Alan Wake 2. We've got Hi-Fi Rush, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, Cocoon and Sea of the Stars both came out. Resident Evil 8. This is all 2023, by the way. Pikmin 4. Let's see, what else? Metroid Prime Remaster. Tears of the Kingdom. The Resident Evil 4 Remake. Street Fighter 6. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Slay the Princess. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Super Mario RPG R. Might have already mentioned that one. Yeah, I think 2023 is the year I'm thinking of, because that was just a ton of games came out in 2023, and a lot of good ones. Oh, it's DLC, my bad. Yeah, I hate looking at these lists because they're technically correct lists, which actually makes them wrong half the time. It's like, this came out this year. No, it didn't. Well, yeah, but it came out for this specific console this year. Yeah, that's not helpful. Trails to Azure apparently came out in the States in 2023, if that counts. Citizen Sleeper, maybe? No, that looks like that's a port, too. You get the point. I think Everspace 2 was actually... Hang on, when was Everspace 2? Yep, that was 2023. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Point being, games be good, yo. And bad. At the same time. Oh, you're that part-timer from the other day. Perfect timing. Keep watch for me, will you? I'm gonna go inside and look for some escape monkeys. That's true, we got Sky R1 and Daybreak 2 here this year. And yeah, this year's been an interesting year for gaming as well. I also admit there's a whole lot of indie-ish games that have really been catching my attention lately. Some of which are in development, some of which are not. Like Timberborn is one that has really been on my radar. Satisfactory finally released, I think that was last year. God, I don't remember the whole list. We had the crap RTS game come out this year. And then we had the better RTS game come out this year. So we had the StarCraft 2 clone, and then we had the CNC clone. Yeah, Tempest Rising, I think, is the CNC one. We've also got a bunch of RTS games coming up soon. Have you noticed that? I made a list. We've got Cleared Hot. No, that's not it. First Explorers, Age of Despair, Beyond Astra, and Ashes of the Singularity 2 were all the ones that caught my attention. Oh, that's right. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 came out this year. Dust, that's another one, yeah. Oh yeah, Europa Universalis 5 came out this year, and honestly, I was pretty impressed with it. I had serious issues with the economic layer, but it's still a banger game. So you say, do I remember the Warcraft 3 clone? Which one? For there are so many. The Scouring. I've never heard of that one, so I'm going to go with no. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chimera Lab. Oh, you're the part-timers who are start here today, right? Okay, cool. You can get inside through the back of the mini-theater. Mini-theater's to the right of the entrance, in case you didn't know. Go in through there, change your clothes. It's good to have you on board. Oh, yeah, this music is just brilliant. I have some special medicine not sold in any vending machines. Can I interest you in some? No. Okay, then there's Rogue Trader. Unfortunately, I am not the person to speak about that one because I haven't touched it at all. It's a Secrabot. Welcome. The Chimera Theater is currently closed. I should probably buy a few reses while I'm here. That keeps being an issue. Oh, Rogue Trader was last year? My bad. I am invalid. Let's grab that much. And let's buy some frickin' reses. There we go. One second. I mean, it's Warhammer 40k. Of course there's darkness. Okay. Oh, gotcha. I'm all ticked off because the part-timers are supposed to come here today late. You're in the way, so go on, get out of here. I don't even dare think about checking inside the lockers and putting on any pig masks you find. You got it. Darkness. Da-na-na-na-na. No pigs. Da-na-na-na-na. Yeah, I don't want to overpraise, but don't do a thing is actually a pretty good way to tutorialize to the player that they should do a thing. It is a non-insubstantial thing that most players will be like, oh, got it, and we'll immediately try to do that thing. Perfect timing. You guys are part-timers, right? Get looking, too. Some monkeys have gone missing. Yeah, what do they study in the Chimera Lab? Some of you have probably noticed that one of the major themes of the work, which I've already written down in the story axis, is the concept of chimera. I don't know if that deserves that positive, as strange as that sounds. It's definitely a very dominant... you'll get this, Logue. Go plays the Ottomans. You'll be fine. It's a good tutorial. I mean that. It's a good tutorial. But, like... The theme of the Chimera is everywhere, right? I don't just mean the monsters. Obviously, that's the obvious thing. I mean, like, narratively speaking, the whole game is about twisting and warping things by combining things together that arguably should not exist together. And that was one of Itoi's goals, was to try and make the whole game about that concept of merging things together that really shouldn't be. The abomination concept. The perfect example of this is what we just saw happen with the town. The town was totally fine. There were still issues, but it was its own thing, and it settled in its own space until someone showed up and crudely started grafting concepts that it had no infrastructure for, and that led to that surface level problem we already mentioned. What am I doing? Okay. Oh. Might as well heal over here. Yeah, the town had issues, and it was not perfect. But now it's much worse, because crude grafting. And it's that crude part that's really important. You can mix and match things and make it work, but the important part is the make it work part. If you've been paying attention, almost everything that's been done here has just been, hey, this would make it better. Clonk. Like, I would say we're metaphorically stapling things together, but the truth is, if you've seen some of the monster designs, we are literally stapling things together. I'm not stuffed. I'm alive. I'm plenty alive, dagnabbit. Oh, okay, sorry. How are they still alive? That's a good question. See, next room over is the specimen room, and then the stairs there take you to the first floor, and then there's an elevator, and then I think, huh? Now I'm all confused again. I think that's probably right. Should I repeat all that? No, please. A full Dragosaurus skeleton. A full Cactus Wolf skeleton. A full Australephant skeleton. A full Cattlesnake skeleton. Mouse bones. Some bones. A skull of a young Drago. Some sort of competition trophy's been placed here as a decoration. Runner-up. Aww. And a save frog, like you do. So here's some more fleshed out versions of these creatures. There's the Australephant. There's the Cattlesnake. And in here are brain specimens of animals. Complete with spinal cord and nervous system, preserved in chemicals. Look out! Wait, what? Ah! It's the almost Mecha Lion. Okay. That's a good question, Takoida. I'm gonna go with yes. So I'm just double checking what I can use on this guy. Looks like he is weak to cry. So let's go ahead and get counter going. Yeah, is there anything alive in that? There's a non-zero chance its brain is in there. But even then, that's not a guarantee. Oh my god, you're right. We're playing with the Strogg again. I hadn't even thought about that, but you're absolutely correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's about as nice as well. Uh-oh. Boney's dead. Oh no, he isn't. Okay, he's about to be dead. Heal, 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 heal. Too slow. Whatever. Sorry, Boney, I tried. I mean, you did pay for it. You should probably find it, Mr. Red. I remember it was in a weird spot. Random, help me out here. Oh, shoot. Oh, thank God. I stopped paying attention to my health. That's my fault. Well, I'll take all that experience. Oh, thank goodness the Claymen were here. You okay, cute part-timer? I'm gonna go left. Just the one now. The one? You mean the red one with the huge mouth? Yeah. That thing means serious trouble. Just standing here won't solve anything. For now, let's hurry and seal the exits. Watch yourselves, guys. By the way, as pointed out by someone on YouTube, these are all doing pig hails? Is what we're going to call those. You can also call them squeal hails. Yeah, it should be a piece of paper, Mr. Red. If you see a red thing with a gigantic mouth, get the heck out of there. Listen, pay close attention now. If you run into a red huge mouth chimera, absolutely nothing to it. Got that? I've warned you. While I'm warning you like this, I should add that it'd be even more dangerous not to take the time out to talk with that frog. Hint, hintity hint, hint, hint. No, really. Let's see. Next. Oh, he's. Please shut up so I can move. Oh my god. Oh, thank god. Can't believe I got assigned to this post. Ugh. Yeah, can I go heal before, I have to deal with this nonsense? I should have had one of those extra rice balls this morning. Excuse me. Who's... No, 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 no. Yes. Nothing, apparently. It's just an old man hanging out there, doing his thing. Ignore the screaming and the squealing of horror in the distance. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we want to go down. So there's the ultimate chimera. It doesn't look like much. It's, yeah, the thing from Smash Brothers. It's completely invincible and can destroy you in seconds. It is the ultimate chimera. It has been asked before, what is it a chimera of? To which the answer is usually yes. So yeah, don't try to fight that thing. Okay, where am I going? I want to go to the basement, which means I need to go this way. Right? No, I want to go past it. Oh, jeez, of course I do. Don't mind me. Oh, you bought it used, Mr. Red. Like, I'm assuming, based on context clues. Ooh, Defense Up Omega. Nice. Yeah, used. That's... I am hopeful that there's no other issues with that. So, this is a fun-looking room. Monkeys? Yeah, some ran through this door, actually. Why did everyone have to ask? Ow, 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 my stomach, it pains me so. Yeah, the ultimate chimera, or whatever it's called. I'd make quick work of it, only if it weren't for my aching stomach. Like they say, you can't fight on an aching stomach, so I'll leave the rest of you. Bye! Yeah. I'm assuming it doesn't have a card in it, right, Mr. Red? No hard drive. Part-timers, you sure do work hard. You're really something. You should probably get out of this building as fast as you can. Thanks. What a nice Nazi. The monkey. I let the red one out of its cage. We're done for now. Put some rice balls at the freezer room, but they wound up frozen solid. I should have eaten them sooner. Ignore all the horrific monsters here. Oh, hey, guys. No, wait. I opened the door and it was standing like right there. Oh man, this room is too much for me to handle. The red one's out there. I'm just gonna have to wait it out in the freezer room. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not like right here. Okay, it isn't. Thank God. Come back. So, I have a question for those of you in chat and on YouTube. How many of you have played Earthbound? Or at least are, familiar with Earthbound? Sufficient to be able to comment on it. So, there is one thing that I actually really like about Mother 3. Did you know this game is a direct sequel to Earthbound? I would not blame you if you didn't know that, because we're like 16 hours in and it hasn't shown up for even one moment other than a couple of vague, reference-y kind of a things. But anyways, that's Dr. Andonuts. Yes, that Dr. Andonuts. I realize you haven't asked, but my name is Dr. Andonuts. I'm being forced to conduct various sorts of research by a certain man. Currently, though, I'm trying to conceal myself for certain reasons. I'm a bit occupied at the moment. Could you come back at a better time? Sure. How old is he? That's an interesting question. We'll come back to that. That's also an interesting question for Hexia. So there's the Ultimate Chimera. With far too many teeth. I just remember the Chimera's weakness, so I mustered up the courage to come here. Thanks. This is a high-tech battery-operated Chimera. In other words, if we set the power switch on its back to off, it will stop. Yes, Salsa, we know. Thank you for the flashback. Hang on. Let me fire up my Switch, too. Go down to System Settings. Go down to Data Management, and there will be an actual specific entry that says Micro SD Express Card. If there is no entry there, you have no thing in there. That's it. That's all. There's a large button on its back. You need to press it. Come now, be courageous. Use the dog as bait. Or Boney. Yeah, that's to be expected. Thank you, Salsa. Literally just saved our lives. Oh. Thank you, lad and monkey. I think I'll use this opportunity to leave the military and devote my life to making all things happy. Oh. You agree with my idea. Thank you, dog. I'm sorry. I was merely joking about the bait thing. It's a simple misunderstanding. You have it all wrong. Yeah, not funny, Andonuts. Yeah, by the way, it does have to be a micro SD Express card. It will not take normal micro SD cards. Oh, right. While we're here. Let's give that to Boney. Give that to Boney. Wait, is Boney full? Boney's full. Let's give that to Lucas. No, we're all full. We're all full. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hang on, let's sell some stuff. How do you sell things to a vending machine? Fair, Mr. Red. It was one of the primary concerns for me because I literally couldn't fit all my games on the Switch 2. Literally. That's a good point. Cyberpunk does that. In System Shock 2, it's actually a plot point, if you could believe that. Well, plot is the wrong word. It's like a setting point, a world-building point. Give those to Boney. Give those to Boney. Give those to Boney. Could you help out, please, Salsa? Why were the ancients so silly? God, can we just have some honest to goodness asshole precursors instead of this nonsense? Please. I'm joking around, obviously. Asshole precursors are pretty common. Including in this game. I'll be curious what you think of the new Joy-Cons too, Mr. Red. I like the new ones better, pretty much top to bottom, over the old ones. And I love the Joy-Cons. Right, so I wanted to talk about that. So, here's the thing. We just saw Dr. Andonuts, and he doesn't appear to be that much older than his old version. Anybody even remotely familiar with Earthbound, which, let's be honest, is most of the people playing this game, are probably like, wait, what? Because it prompts a lot of questions. Nothing about this game, other than a few vague references, has had anything to do with Earthbound or Mother 1. So why is a character from Earthbound just kind of here, out of nowhere? I give the game credit for this. They're very understated about it. This is actually a repeat of the bomb under the table concept. We understand that the bomb is under the table. The characters do not. In this case, we know who Dr. Andonuts is, and that is significant to us, but it means nothing to them. So it makes perfect sense that it's such a casual scene. He's just like, hey, I'm Dr. Andonuts. And so the character's like, hi, what's going on? Yeah. We're kind of dealing with this chimera thing right now. So they don't care. It has no significance to them. But meanwhile, we're here like, wait, I'm sorry, what? And again, the fact that he's not really much of a different age is question marky. Because very little about this particular setting, if you could call it that, has any correlation to the rest of the game. Like, so a lot of people, when this was still being translated, when this was still happening live, there's a lot of speculation that this was just an island, like, off the coast of everywhere, right? Some weird-ass island, like, you know, something like Dalam or Summers or whatever, that just didn't have any connection to modern society. But the problem was that theory broke apart almost immediately and didn't really follow through on the evidence that we see on game. So it's like, what the heck is going on? I mean, it's literally Nowhere Islands. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, awesome. You really did show up, Lucas. Hi, Kumatora. Oh, you're here too, Salsa? It's great to see you again. I didn't know you were alive. Oh, and how have you been, Love Monkey? Hello. Oh my, what adorable visitors. Introduce me to them, won't you? Yeah, sure. These are my friends. This is Salsa the monkey and his love monkey. This is Lucas the human. And this dog is... What's his name? Quick. Right, okay, thanks. Boney! You're so sweet. You're sweet little Lucas. Ione has told me all about you. Come with me. I will come with you if you stop shaking your butt at me. I almost forgot, Lucas. That's Doria, one of the 7 magpies. He saved me. Apparently that's what fate had in store. Right. After I fell from the airship, Doria was there to rescue me. Apparently a pretty woman dressed in red appeared in Doria's dreams, and foretold I'd fall into this pond. For some reason, after I heard that story, I somehow knew you guys were all right, too, and I'd see you again soon enough. I was a little worried about you, though, Lucas. Doria says Duster's all right. I think he is, too. He's dead. Ione told me you'd come here. The needle I'm guarding is at the bottom of the pond. My needle is much more of a pain to pull out. It's hard to believe you really have the power to pull the needles. But before you can even try, we need to move the water from this pond into that empty hole first. Do you know that Chimera Laboratory to the west of here? Might be some junk there that can help it move the pond water. Why not look for something? Okay. Whoop. Enemies. No! Is that a pig? What is that? An Einswine. And a Batang... Oh my god. Batangutan. There we go. Ow! No, Mr. Red. And Salsa is dead. Just in time to not gain experience. Perfect. I'm sorry, what is this thing? It's a dogfish. Well, yeah, because we have catfish already. Duh. Of Of course, this makes perfect sense. Jesus. Die. No. 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 Okay, we're good. We're good. Boney. No, don't die, Boney. God, I've got one screen. Hey, Dr. Andonuts. Oh, lad, thank you for earlier. What's that? You're looking for a way to transfer all the water from one pond to another. Yeah. Those eyes of yours, lad. They're the eyes of someone who's taken on some sort of mission. Oh well. I'll lend you a helping hand. Achoo! Ugh. What? Behold! I brought several of the chimeras I've been developing in secret. Take whichever one you think will be most useful. Hey, Umbral Magnus. Do enjoy the cooking, the baking, the eating, the visiting. These are the Bucket Brothers. They're the result of combining cutting-edge dough technology with Clayman technology. These fellows are exceptionally hard workers. No. That's a dry guy. It's the latest model dryer chimera, and it utilizes air intake system and a jet engine. It can dry anything in mere moments, even long hair, afros, panties, and Asian beauties. Why do Asian beauties need to be dried? I suppose we could try all of them. Sure. Just for you. Savaka. Let him dry. He's just drying away. Keep at it a little more? No, he's gonna fail. Sorry, dude. You're a failure as a chimera. Okay, so I don't want to walk back over there, so then we'll try these guys. The Bucket Brothers. Let's do it. Yes, here we are. This will solve our pond water dilemma. I just know it. Alright, you got this, guys. Aw, yeah, brother. Check it out. Behold their incredible ability to move water at the slowest rate humanly imaginable. Thank you, 10-Headed Hydra, very much, as always. Much appreciate. No, we have to use chimeras, Dakota. We have to pervert science and nature. I'll put that towards Red Dead Redemption 2, Grim Fandango, and Overlord. You just keep going, guys. Just keep going. You'll eventually get it. You'll eventually get there. Okay, so let's do the correct choice, which is that one, huh? That's a rather ho-hum chimera known as a pump chimera. It's an extraordinarily ordinary creature that's really only useful when you need to transfer something from one place to another, such as pond water. You certainly want something as uninteresting as this? Yeah, Andonuts has lost a little bit of his marbles over the last few years. Oh yes, here we are. This will solve our water dilemma. Oh my god, it's like playing Oxygen Not Included all over again. There, Rex. And it's coming out his tail. Yes, we're going to call that a tail. Why is the water warm all of a sudden? Just look at him swagger away so confidently. He leaves the stage with such calm air about him. What a Casanova. Bravo, Mr. Bump. There it is. That's the needle. One of the 7 needles sealing the dragon away. Uh-huh. Can you really pull this needle, like Ionia said? I'm not sure if I should be afraid or happy. A rush of emotions is overcoming me. I can't believe I'm here witnessing this moment. Thump, thump, thump. Now, pull it with all your might. If this needle gets pulled, will you disappear like Aeolia did? Yes, that's right. Because the needle won't need my protection anymore. The needle can only be pulled when the time comes. So when the needle finally is pulled, the time has come. We magpies have lived our lives so that we can happily accept that fate when it comes. So don't worry, I'm not going to die. I'm simply going to follow fate and disappear. It'll be a happy thing, called death. We learned PK Power Beta. This really is the beginning of the end. The time has finally come. I never once imagined someone would show up at this tender girl's home to pull the needle. Disappearing while still young and beautiful. In one sense, it's bliss. Kumatora, go with little Lucas here and see things through to the end. I'm about to disappear youthfully and beautifully. Think about me sometimes, okay? Here, take a memento of me. I'll leave the rest in your hands now. Ione had told me about this a long time ago. When the dark dragon that's sleeping under the island wakes up, all life and all time will be reborn. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to see things through to the end. Lucas, can I come along with you? I want to go with you. We have to hurry and find Duster and the Eagle Eye, too. Okay. I'll take the best party member with me, I guess. Salsa, we just met again after all this time, but it looks like this is goodbye again. Good thing I already emptied your inventory. What's with that look? You're such a sentimental monkey. Let's go. Let's go to the next needle. You and Love Monkey take care now. Huh? What is it? It's a nut? For me? Thanks. See you later, if we get the chance, which we won't. And at that moment, Facade shows up and starts torturing him. Oh, I'd give it a negative on the spot. I would give it a negative on the spot if they pulled that crap. I'd be mad. Uh-oh, it's the Squeaks. The most terrifying mouse of all time. Yeah, baby. Check out that hair. Oh my god. That's... wow. I humbly apologize for my rude, egotistical attitude, despite being so weak. Back in the highway, I was known as the hippest cat around, but now I'm just a pathetic excuse of a mouse. All the girls dug me, but I'm definitely no fighter. But you help me remember who I really am. I wonder if my wife and 7 kids I left in the highway that you did a side quest for earlier are doing okay. Well, I'm suddenly feeling homesick. Homesick?! Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. It's the mole cricket from the beginning of the game. You kept true to your promise and finally came back to the mole cricket hole, huh? It's me, don't you recognize me? I'm the mole cricket you fought at Alex's place while you were play fighting with the Dragos as a little kid. I've been training for this day all these years. The time to battle has come. Follow me. It's okay. Do I have to? Okay. This is kind of strange. Which I guess describes the entire game, doesn't it? It is. This is where you and I gotta fight it out. This is where my right hand will be raised into the air when I'm declared the winner. And this is where you're gonna hit the ground with the thud. This is the place. I'll widen the hole a bit so you can fit through. Thanks. Can I save first? Yeah, well, you know what? Sorry, I'm thinking about something. Let's go and chop off a little early. I was hoping to do like this next section first, but it might take a minute. So let's go and pause here. Do a lunch break thing, and I will see about setting up this new monitor. So, I'll see you in a bit.